If you can't make suggestions politely in English like native speakers, you will need this video to watch. Hello, my name's Saber, and in this video we are going to check on some tips and techniques in order to make suggestions politely in English like native speakers. So before we get started, I want you to subscribe to the channel so that you will get notifications for the following videos. And if you are going to improve your speaking, check that link over there. And if you want to improve your IELTS speaking, check that link over there. So now listen to these conversations and try to find out how they make suggestions, what phrases they use. Let's get started.
Let's go out for a pizza or something tonight. I really don't feel like cooking.
I don't mind going out, but I really don't fancy pizza. What about Italian food or Chinese?
I had Chinese food last night. How about that new Japanese place down the road?
Sounds good. Let's go there.
What should we get Marco for his birthday?
How about a CD? He's always interested in listening to new music.
The trouble is, he downloads all his music straight from the computer. He says he's got too many CDs lying around. He doesn't want any more.
Oh, here's an idea. A voucher. Then he can download a couple of albums.
I'd rather get him something for his new flat.
We could get him a toaster or something, I suppose.
Do you feel like seeing that new Spielberg film?
What's it about? I'm afraid I'm not keen on horror films.
No, it's nothing like that. It's a drama. It's based on a true story about the war.
I'd prefer something a bit less heavy. Why don't we go and see a comedy?
Sorry, but I'm not mad about them. I tell you what, let's see what's on TV.
Oh, that was good. I'm really happy you listened to this conversation because they really showed their British nationality. So let's now go for the expressions that I found so useful. The first one is let's go out. Whenever you want to make an offer or make a suggestion, you say let's plus a simple verb. Let's go, let's do, let's see, right? Next one is I don't feel like cooking. So the woman said that she doesn't feel like cooking. Feel like means be in the mood. So when you say I'm not in the mood, you can say I don't feel like. Remember, you have to use verb ing after that. I don't feel like cooking. Next one is I don't mind going out, but. If you want to disagree with somebody's suggestion, then you say I don't mind doing that, but. So what about? Another expression that you can use in order to make a suggestion is to say what about. Remember, what about gets a verb ing. For example, what about going to that Japanese restaurant? And the other one that is the same as what about is how about. Like, how about drinking tea? How about drinking coffee? Next is sounds good, let's go there. So if you want to agree with somebody's suggestion, then you say sounds good. This means it seems good. Let's go there. Next is what shall we get? So there was this conversation about getting a birthday gift for somebody, and then the guy said, what shall we get for example, Tom's birthday? Here, get means buy. Exactly. So, and then another one said, here is an idea. This means I have an idea. I have a suggestion. Next was I'd rather. I'd rather means I would prefer. Be careful. After I'd rather, we use a simple verb. For example, I'd rather listen to music on YouTube or Spotify. Next one is we could. If you want to make a suggestion or a proposal, then you say we could. For example, we could get him a voucher. A voucher is a gift card you can buy somebody so that they can buy applications, music, download movies and stuff like that. Next is, do you feel like? If you want to make a suggestion, again, if you want to tell somebody that, are you in the mood of watching a film? And then you say, do you feel like seeing this new film? or this new Spielberg's film. Spielberg is a director. Next one, I am sure you've never heard that before, is I'm afraid. I'm afraid doesn't mean I'm scared. It means I'm sorry. For example, I'm afraid not. This means unfortunately not. I'm afraid I am not interested in horror films. This means I'm sorry, but I am not interested in horror films. Next one is I'd prefer. I'd prefer means I'd rather. I'd prefer means I would like. Remember, after I'd prefer, you have to use to plus verb. For example, I'd prefer to watch horror films. Next one is why don't we do something? For example, why don't we watch an action film? Why don't we watch an action film? This one is also a phrase for making a suggestion. And the last one is I'm sorry, but I'm not mad about something. If you are mad about something, you are interested in it. For example, you say, I'm sorry, but I'm not mad about romantic films. This means I don't like them. Thank you. So here we are with the techniques and tips I promised you at the very beginning of the video. The very first one is apologize for a negative response. And where appropriate, give a reason for your negative response. For example, somebody says, why don't you or why don't we go to the cinema tonight? And then you say, I'm sorry, I'm busy tonight. I've arranged to meet a friend. Like that. Next tip is to make an alternative suggestion. Make another suggestion. For example, somebody says, why don't we get a taxi? And then you say, it's a bit expensive, but we could get a bus. Next one, number 3. If you don't like something, state a preference for something else. Talk about something else that you would like to do. For example, somebody says, we could get a takeaway curry for dinner. And then you respond, I'm not that keen on spicy food, but we could get fish and chips. So this way you can actually alternate another one, right? And the last one is to remember to sound positive. When you reply to a suggestion with a positive response, be positive all the time, okay? Do not just try to argue, alright? Be careful with that. I'm going to tell you some important points in English, especially the ones that showed in this conversation. The very first thing is we use verb ing after prepositions like about, on, or in, at, right? For example, I am not mad about watching films. Or I am not interested in drinking coffee. I am not keen on watching horror films. So after these little words, we just use verb ing because they are prepositions. The next thing is this. We use verb ing after some verbs like, prefer, remember, not would prefer. For example, I prefer going out with friends. I like taking a shower every morning. I enjoy hanging out with my friends, right? But after I'd rather, as I already mentioned, you have to use a simple verb. Like, I'd rather go. I'd rather watch romantic films. But, in other words, there is actually another expression that is would prefer. After would prefer and would like, you always use to plus verb. For example, I would prefer to watch horror films. I would like to watch horror films. And after some types of expressions like feel like. For example, you gotta use verb ing. For example, you say, I feel like going out, having fun with my friends. I don't feel like cooking. Another one, have trouble. I've got trouble downloading this film. Have difficulty. I have difficulty streaming that song on Spotify. Did you see? Another one is after adjectives. After some adjectives, we use verb ing. For example, I am busy watching a film, right? So watching a film is the verb ing after busy. So that's all for today. I really appreciate that you watched this video until the end, and congrats, because it shows your consistency. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, I really appreciate it. Next time we'll come back with another lesson. Share this video if you think some people around you need it. I'll see you later. Bye.